By the way, and I put this out there, and some people responded, but do you think his comment about the Georgia bought a lot of players, which is okay, you can do that now. I need more people to donate at Kentucky, so we can do that too. I'm paraphrasing, but you get
Yeah.
the point. Was that? Do you think that was like a dig at Georgia, or is that just like just a statement of fact? You guys got to contribute.
I think it was more at that. And I know when when Saban said the thing, he said basically the same thing, about Jimbo Fisher a couple years ago, and he got blown up, but he didn't mean that to go public. He was talking to boosters, and
Right.
and he was trying to get in. I think what he was trying to do was get his the NIL belt. At least that's stuff I heard, but it was second and third hand.
Yeah.
But and I'm imagine in the long run, Stoops is doing the same thing. Hey, y'all donate here, we can get some NIL there, maybe we can get some of the players.
Right.
Because
I think I struggle with. I think it's both. I think it's, yes, I can use this as an opportunity to get people more interested in the program, but I think it also is a slight dig, because if you remember when Coach Beamer played Georgia last season or season before, whatever it was, and he was like, "Yeah, they have 5 stars."
Right. Yeah, that was, I think that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. He was just like, "We don't have 5 stars." So that was, I think that's like the nicer way of saying it, right? Where it's like, yeah. But to say like, yeah, you can buy players, which, you want to get really technical about it, the school cannot. It
True.
has to be outside sources. Now, we all know that they help organize that and they help them make that content. We all have NIL studios now within our institutions.
The
But
rotating camera.
yeah, that is, boosters can't just donate to the athletic program and it go to students. Like, that's not how NIL works.
Right.
It's not how it's supposed to work. And if that's the way you're doing it, please make sure that that is covered behind layers and
It is
layers.
organized, just not quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was both. I think it's like, hey, we can do this too. And we're probably going to have to, because again, Oklahoma and Texas are joining, and those are deep, deep pockets.
Oil money.
Step up.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of like a meh.
Right. And I get it. There's, at the end of the day, there's going to be some schools that just flat out have more money than others because, there's more money in it. They have more boosters that have deeper pockets, etc. But for the most part, you're going to be able to match. Each school is going to have that one or that handful of people who have super deep pockets, and they can get pretty much whoever they want.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I think that the NIL hasn't been terrible for parity. What are you going to say, Mitch?
Kentucky is horse breeder country. There's
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, did y'all hear Gene Smith when he was testifying? He was used to be the AD at Ohio State, but he's the head of an NIL somewhere, and I wanted to say it was Carolina. But anyway, he was testifying in Congress, and he was the congressman. They were asking him questions and all like that, and he says, well, heck, he said, we've got recruits that are demanding or asking for $5,000 just to visit the school.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I don't doubt that, but that's the first time I had heard anything like that. And some of the other people were going, wow, I'd not heard this. And I was going, that was an eye opener there, just to get them to visit. Ain't none of this, well, I grew up this fan, it's like,
right.
I think that's long gone now.
It is a weird concept. I can't, and granted, I'm not an elite athlete, but it's just a weird concept to me to just sit there and be like, sure, I'll visit. Give me $5,000. I can't quite grasp that, but just the opportunity is amazing.
Schools use, they take pictures of them on the sidelines. They, do all of this stuff with them. And if they're a highly touted recruit, they post that all over. They're like, oh, so-and-so is visiting. So excited to have so-and-so. I mean, look at if NIL had fully passed when Arch Manning was coming through, he could have charged so much money.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And it's not just football players, it's other athletes. In fact, some of the biggest NIL deals are women athletes right now. And NIL is fascinating because now it's exactly like you said. It's not necessarily where I have these ties or what I grew up with. It's who can secure me this amount of publicity, this amount of income while I dedicate my time to the university. And it's only going to get worse because there are, high schoolers can profit off of it now too.
Yeah.
Georgia's one of the states that has announced that their high school athletes can absolutely receive compensation. So it's only going to grow. The NCAA's lawsuits are not being successful as of late. So you're going to see a lot of this that's going to impact even more than conferences shifting.
Yeah.